In November 2018, gigantic portraits were raked into the sandy coasts of the United Kingdom to commemorate British heroes of World War I. Among these portraits is a Scottish surgeon and suffragist whose bravery and tenacity saved thousands of lives. Her name? Elsie Inglis. Inglis was one of the first British female surgeons, at a time when it was almost inconceivable that a woman could hold such a position. But Inglis proved the notion wrong. She was recognised as a surgeon who was quiet, calm and collected, and never at a loss. Skillful in her manipulations and able to cope with any emergency. While working in Dublin and London, Inglis was appalled by the standards of female care. She believed that hospitals fully run by women was the way forward. In 1894, she established her own practice called the Hospice, a midwifery resource and training centre in the heart of Edinburgh's Old Town. The hospice was moved to Abbey Hill as the Elsie Inglis Memorial Hospital from 1925 to 1992, where many Scots today take pride in having been born there. A charitable surgeon, Inglis often waived fees of her poorest patients and paid to have them recuperate by the sea, and her passion spread to the fight for women's voting rights. She attended events throughout the country to share her message and launched the Scottish Federation of Women's Suffrage Societies in 1906. During this time, Inglis became close with fellow doctor FLORA Murray, and they lived together in Edinburgh. Recently, commentators have speculated on the nature of their relationship, suggesting that they may have been lovers. When Britain entered the war, Inglis offered her medical services on the battlefield. "My good lady, go home and sit still," the British War Office said. Sitting still was the last thing Inglis would do. Even though the British government didn't want her help, other governments did, and so the first Scottish Women's Hospital Unit was dispatched in December 1914 to France. The units were staffed entirely by women, from the physicians to the cooks to the mechanics. 14 medical units in total had been outfitted and 1,500 women sent to serve across Europe. During the war, Serbia was especially devastated by an epidemic of typhus. They were desperate for help, and the Scottish Women's Hospital Unit responded, arriving in Serbia like a host of angels sent from heaven. The Serbians trusted them completely. When Inglis arrived to replace the head of the unit, she helped the Serbians improve hygiene and access to clean running water. To commemorate her work, the Serbians built her a memorial drinking fountain, and she was the first woman to receive the Serbian Order of the White Eagle. The Serbian UK ambassador said, "In Scotland, she became a doctor. In Serbia, she became a saint." Inglis later went to support the Serbian troops in Russia. Whilst there, she became increasingly sick with cancer, but refused to leave until all of the Serbs returned home safely. She sent a telegram home that read, "Everything satisfactory and all well, except me." Donned with her decorations, she landed in Newcastle on November 25th, 1917. A day later, she passed away with her sisters by her side. Edinburgh's streets were lined with people on the day of her funeral, including both British and Serbian royalty. The Scottish Women's Hospital Unit continued its work until the end of the war. But Elsie Inglis left a legacy long after the war was over, for future women doctors and a higher standard of healthcare. She also penned a novel titled The Story of a Modern Woman. Though fiction, the story suggests similarities to Inglis' own life. She writes a passage where her protagonist realises she doesn't know fear. On her return from Serbia, Inglis herself confided in a friend that it was a great day in my life when I discovered that I did not know what fear was. A fearless woman ahead of her time, Inglis paved the way for the modern women of today.